Hello and welcome to the second round of the Legends Racing Series brought to you by Sim Games Online. My name is Andrew Gattin and I'm here today with our new broadcasting host for the next few weeks, Charles Gooday. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
And I do believe we've got a little bit of a technical issue. Oh, there we go.
I'm now unmuted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yep. Anyway, do continue.
So, we're just getting everybody into the server and ready to start racing here at Knockhill in Scotland, just about 100 miles south of me, as I am in the Highlands. So, driven past it, driven round it, absolutely fantastic racetrack to be in and to watch the cars come flying down that hill section off the pit straight. So, as we're still waiting for a few of the drivers to hop into session. We're just getting a couple of things sorted out at the moment. Just a few different things that need to be fixed. So please do bear with us as we're trying to fix a couple of issues at the moment.
I was in the server.
do apologise about that, guys. We're just waiting for a couple of different things to resolve itself. A couple of drivers still coming into the session, so now the broadcasting should be coming live to you now as we're watching a few of the drivers come around the track. On board with our man himself, Mick Sutton. His Legends car. Fantastic cars here to see everybody driving around. Commentator's curse always comes in at the wrong time. It's flying white around the back straight there onto the gravel. It's very unlucky from him to see that happen. Andy Clark driving around today as well. He's driving around in his nice lime green Legends car. Really nice line coming round the start-finish straight there. Just a little bit of lag there from him. Oh, going a little bit wide. Nice bit of back-end spin coming round there. Good rotation from these little cars. In the background, we see... Yeah, I was going to say it's Cal Newsham. He's decided that he's going to take to the grass coming around that corner. Which is very unfortunate from him. Hello to everybody in the stream. Hopefully you can all hear me very well, and we've got all the restreamed chats up for everybody on all the YouTube, Facebook and Twitch on live here on Sim Games Online. Hello to everybody in the chat. Looks like it's going to be a good race today. Unfortunately, we haven't got as many drivers as last week, because a few drivers unfortunately couldn't make it tonight due to other commitments. But we do have a fair few of our faster drivers. Obviously, Cal Newsham, Max Bird here as well. It's going to be a very nice set of drivers on the grid. Cal Newsham, really nice through that sector. Nice bit of slide he's getting from the car. Definitely managed to get a decent setup. And you just see he's hardly having to do anything with the wheel to get it to go around the corner. Very nice driving from him here. Coming up into the back straight now. And he puts himself fastest on the grid, so that's another really fast time there from him there. Good work. Glad that the sound is great, guys. We had a couple of issues at the start of this stream, so it's nice to see everything's working pretty fine now. See now we're at when it comes to the drivers. So right now in quali we have 12 minutes left, and we see Max Birdie's third fastest at the moment on the timing board. Cal Newsham obviously fastest. Mick Sutton managing to put himself in second place on the grid at this moment in time. We just see Andy Clark coming through the S's there. Max Bird coming down. Takes a really wide line there through that sector. Max Bird coming sliding around into the first corner. The S's there, I've always found quite difficult myself when it comes to driving. One thing that I've noticed over the years is that it just seems to get tighter in more of the cars. Callum Newsham still at the top there. Mick Sutton still not managing to be taken off second place. Max really pushing the car to its limits. He's actually slower through sector 2 there than his previous time. Mick Sutton on his lap at the moment. Pretty sure he's back out on the track. Alan Brockhurst going 5th fastest on the timing. Max Francis in 6th at this moment in time. Obviously, quali only matters for the last race of the night. Max Francis managing to put himself up into 3rd. Max Bird down in 4th fastest at this moment in time. Got some excellent drivers on the grid here, so it's going to be jostling for position on this final 10 minutes. Max Bird going a bit faster than he was before. Puts himself 2nd fastest now. He knocks down both Mick Sutton and Max Francis. Andy Clark letting other drivers by. Board now. Callum Brockhurst driving around the middle sector of the track. He's going to come into at this moment, coming through the bollard. Fast bit of driving is needed through there. The slightest little move to the left and you go into that bollard, you'll ruin your whole entire race. Or even if you go wide at that point, you're kind of at point, unfortunately. To where you just are going to struggle to get back on the track. It's very slippy out there, trying to climb up the hill in these just cut slicks that the Legends cars have on them. Mick Sutton coming around the back corner. Mick Sutton now coming to start another lap. Nice bit of slide down the hill. Really nicely done from Mick through that corners. Really starting to utilise the curbing as much as he can. He's going to bring it round into sector 2. Really good work from going to see now is Mick Sutton's going to come around into the last corner. He's unfortunately went really slow through sector 1, so I can't really see him improving his time here. And yeah, he doesn't manage to improve, but he is still 3rd fastest. Max Francis not managing to push in front of him at this moment in time. 7 minutes left of this quali session. So we see Lewis Brown has decided to join us after him having a few technical issues himself. Seems that Assetto Corsa does not like us tonight. Max having to hit the brakes actually going up the hill section there. Managing to let Mick pass as he's on another flyer. Callum Newsham now, he's managing to just increase his lead just a little bit more. Andy Clark in the 666 lime green car. Not managed to increase any of his lap time there. I'm assuming he was letting other drivers by, so this should be one of his flying laps now. He's got a little bit of a tank slapper on the rear end. Still a little bit slower through sector 1. Max Francis is still in 4th fastest. Well, he's not managed to increase time. I'm just going to have a look at some of the comments at the moment. A lot of support in the chat for a couple of the drivers. Got a couple from Max Francis, and I do believe it is Callum Newsham as well. He's got a couple of fans in the pit wall at the moment, shouting him on. Lewis Brown, unfortunately, not having a good start to the day, but he's going to push anyway. His tyres will be definitely warm now after those slides he's been getting on. Callum Newsham doesn't look like he's going to manage to get caught here. But overall, good driving from all of the drivers so far on the grid. Hopefully we get to see some of the awesome racing these guys can throw out for us. Oh, 2 wheels coming down the top of the hill there. Those sausage curbs are a little bit of a nightmare if you hit them too hard. And you see that's really affected his time now. Now Callum Newsham not managing to push to get any faster now. Just under 3 minutes to go, and it looks like Mr. Max Bird is trying to catch a tow here from Callum Newsham. So, we're just waiting for a few of the laps to be completed now. Max Bird not managing to push himself up, and Lewis Brown slots himself into 2nd place with that lap that he just put in there. Very well done from him in his Mintex red car. He's only 1.01 sorry, 0.18 off of the time there. If I could get my words out tonight. Mick Sutton now down into 4th place at the moment as Max Bird has put himself in 3rd position. Doesn't look like Andy Clark is going to get too much faster with this lap. He might be able to get one more in before quali's done. He's actually faster for Sector 2 there than he has been all night, so he is definitely finding the pace of the Legends car. Callum Lewis not managing to go any faster at this moment in time, so he could be at risk here from Lewis and Max as they come down. Hopefully post a second lap. As Max actually, he's unfortunately finished. Andy Clark is the only one. He's managed to time his lap perfectly fine. He's the only one out on track, and he went plus 0.06 in the first sector. He's actually slower through Sector 2 now. Can he nail Sector 3 to go faster than he was? He might be able to just pip Max Francis here. No, he's decided to come into the pits, as all the drivers now are going to dive into the pits and get ready for the first race. Callum Brocker's got a couple of fans in the chat as well. It seems like a lot of the drivers have got a bit of support here tonight. It's really good to see, guys. And now we're just waiting for all the grid to be formed up. So, just a little bit of some facts about Knockhill. Knockhill is in Dunfermline in Scotland. It's just north of in between Edinburgh and Glasgow, closer to Perth than anything else. The hill sections are going to be fantastic for everybody to race down. Hopefully we don't see anybody else kind of smashing into each other. So we're going to see a lot of fast racing through here. Going to be awesome to see the cars sliding through the hill sections. As you can see on the stream at the moment, that it's very kind of gradient dependent around the track. So whether the cars are going to manage to get up the hills as fast as possible, or they're going to utilize using people's slipstream and also trying to push in lower gears up the hills to try and get a little bit more shunt out of that 175cc motorbike engine that's in the Legends. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic race for everybody to watch here around the Knockhill GP circuit. I know a lot of the guys in the chat right now have probably seen Knockhill in real life, so they'll know how busy it gets, as it's pretty much one of the only racetracks that is registered within Scotland. And it's probably one of the best as well, in that fairness as well. So we're just waiting now still for a couple of the things to be moved up. It's be pretty interesting to ask now how everybody in the chat is doing. Is everyone surviving? Matthew's got his little fans in the chat as well. It's going to be awesome to have these guys watching. Welcome, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy what is, I would consider, home turf for me. Hopefully we don't have too many incidents on the track. Knockhill's kind of notorious for its turn one, as you can't see the gradient as it goes down the hill, until you're going down the hill yourself. And with this game's handling model as well, you're going to see quite a lot of sliding, especially around that final turn at the hairpin. Don't tell the drivers, but there's a sneaky little way that they could gain time. As you can see there's the slip road. Unfortunately, if you do that, race director will be on you and probably going to give you a good slap. Moira Scott saying Knockhill is awesome. I would agree with you there, Moira. It is a fantastic track. Not biased opinion at all. So obviously we see the first race is just a bit of a bash about to see where all the drivers are at. Looks like Mick Sutton will be starting third there, behind the two red Mintex cars, Max Francis and Lewis Brown. Matthew Williams alongside him. Really can't wait to see actually how this turns out. Honestly, it's going to be quite a fun one to see how they're going to roll down the hill. Everybody getting a lot of support from the Twitch and the YouTube chat. Now, as we're waiting for everybody to jump in. I think that's all the cars now on the grid. We're just waiting to see what's actually happening. We're just waiting now for lights out. So speaking to a few of the drivers before this week, it's going to be quite a fun one. Just been told from the race director we have 1:30 until lights out here at Knockhill. I I know for a fact. See if you go up on the top of that hill up there with the radio towers are. You can actually see out all the way over the city there. It's a really beautiful view. You can see all the lowlands. Quite a lot of us up here in the north, as soon as we go past Perth, we start to see that the hills die down and we get a little bit depressed. As we're just normally surrounded by hills up here. Everywhere we look, there's a bit of a hill. So Ken, the first race isn't actually done by quali. It's actually the last race that's a quali race. So all the work that they were putting in quali goes towards the last race of the evening. This one's just an as you are grid. So it's just to see, it's almost a warm-up race for the guys to see where they're at. Gonna be a nice bit of driving here though, as the two Mintex cars are actually on pole here, and we've got 4, 5 red lights. And off we go for the first race of the evening. Looks like Lewis Brown doesn't have a good start there. Max Francis getting off well. All lining up nicely behind each other. New drivers losing a bit of position. Max Bird already diving down around the outside of a few of the drivers. Surprisingly clean start. Mick Sutton goes off the track. I don't think that was pushed or anything. So the first race is just a random grid that the game throws out. It's not chosen by anybody. It's Callum Newsham, so up to 4th already. Max Bird's actually got in front of him. That could be detrimental for the first race here. Charles, mate, do you mind having a look at the back of the pack as well? We can't just focus on like the same battle all the time. See, Andy Clark's still at the back of the grid now. He didn't have the best of starts as well. Callum Brockhurst, just one place up from him. Nice bit of sliding there from Andy. It's surprising, actually, talking about the way that you drive the cars around here. It'd be safe to say that actually driving the cars with a bit of a slide on them isn't necessarily the slowest, but it's not actually the fastest line. If you can keep the car grippy around the corners, you're actually better on the exits. You gain time rather than, you know, sliding the car through the corners and overheating your back tires. So Andy goes a bit wide through there. Lewis Brown managing to set the fastest lap there of the race. He's out in front now, pushing away from Max Bird. 4 seconds in it. Unless Lewis makes a mistake, it does seem that it's going to be a little bit of a throwaway win if he messes up, in all fairness, as he is just leading away. Callum Brockhurst running in 8th position. Matthew Williams as well, just in front. He's driving a really consistent laps in the little car. The Legends. He opted to get a rust-coloured livery on his car. And I gotta say, it's probably one of the coolest liveries I've seen on those cars. Suits them as well. Love to hear and see everybody cheering on all the drivers here. Matthew Williams actually conceding a place now to Brockhurst. He's actually under pressure now from Andy Clark. Lewis Brown still pulling away there with the lead. He's not managed to gain too much, but 0.5 over the past 2 laps is a lot for the likes of Max Bird to be able to catch on this final 6:41 in the race. Andre Lundin, still running in 4th position, not managing to catch up to Callum Newsham. Newsham's still pushing as Max Bird sets fastest lap, and then just behind him as well, Newsham is just close on his heels. "56-second laps around here is roughly what we try and aim for in most of the circuits that we race in the Legends. Andy Clark pushing. Matthew Williams still being under pressure. As we have just been hearing over the radio now, that the leaders are catching the back two of Andy and Matthew. So they're going to have to be, unfortunately, blue flagged for that small portion of time to let the leaders through. But hopefully we'll see this battle continue as Andy's chasing down Matthew, who seems to have really gotten really fast in that car this week. Andy's already slowing down to try and see if he can get Lewis past before the corner. Lost a lot of time there to Matthew. Bit of drive in. Looks like Mick Sutton's gone into the pits. Could be damage to his car. Cal Newsham actually closing up a little bit. Now on Max Bird. Coming on to the start-finish straight now. Not far behind now, as it looks like the back end of the pack has almost helped Newsham in the last 3 minutes of this race to try and catch up. For those of you that didn't catch last week's race, you can still view it on our YouTube channel at Sim Games Online, and you can also, I'm sure it's still live, to watch on the Twitch and also our Facebook, so you'll be able to catch our last live streams there, and you can see the fantastic track which is the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, which is actually just the pretty much drive around the paddock in some cases. Andy going a little bit wide again at the last corner. He's been really struggling with that today. Ken is cheering on Callum to get into P2. He's definitely catching Max Bird. Speaking to these guys last week and throughout the week, and also before that, you just know there's such a healthy rivalry between these two guys, and it's really nice to see. Really catching Max now. Max is making just a few small errors, just a little too much oversteer on some of the corners, and Callum is just capitalising on that now. Got about a lap and a half left of the race. Sorry, make that 2. Really nice driving. Really nice car control through the S's there. Max Bird still holding him off, but there's not much in it. There's about a second now coming down to the last 2 laps of the race. It does look like that Andreas Lunden has unfortunately not been able to catch too much, but he's still pushing to hold off Max Francis, who's now going to be overtaking Matthew Williams. Very nice etiquette from him there to let Max Francis by. Max Francis obviously at the start of this race, really nice defence from him to hold on to P3 for long enough, and then unfortunately made a little bit of a mistake. see. Unfortunately, he's not in the range just now. But the final lap of the race has been thrown up. They've got one more lap on top of this now. Lewis Brown just pulling away now in the lead. He's going to take the win of the first race of the evening. Pretty uneventful for him at the front of the pack, no problems. He's just driven a very calm, controlled and collected race. The 3 C's in the racing world. Callum Newsham just doesn't have enough of a chase now on Max Bird, who's just managed to keep him at bay just for that little bit longer. So far, so good. And the drivers really nicely done. And there we go. The first race is now being won by Lewis Brown. Fantastic work from him. Very well done from all the drivers in all the racing. Excellent work, guys, to all the drivers. And we're now going to just be getting ready for the next interviews. Obviously, last week we had interviews for each race. We're going to have exactly the same work for today. I'm just waiting for a few of the drivers to stack up on the grid. As the last driver is completely over the line now, we're going to hopefully be able to watch the drivers come into the pits. Awesome work from all the drivers there. We're going to now pull in. We're going to pull in our top 3 of drivers. So we're going to now pull in the 3rd place finisher of that race, Callum Newsham. So, Callum Newsham, how are you doing, buddy?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yes, good first race from you. Do you think?
Yeah, it was all right. I struggled getting through the pack a bit at the start, so I lost a bit of ground there. But yeah, can't complain with that. It was all right. I got the fastest lap at the end there as well. So
Yeah, we saw that. It was excellent work from you towards the end. You were really catching Max, but he just managed to have the edge over you. Just. Do you think that if you didn't have that kind of issues at the start, that you would have been able to catch Max towards the end?
yeah, maybe. But he was super consistent. I was making a few mistakes there, so yeah, I don't know really. Maybe not.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I think you've definitely got it in you for the next race to push him through. Obviously, reverse grid this time, so it's going to be a nice one to watch you guys push through the pack again. I think. Have you got any concerns for this next race? So if Max gets in front of you, do you think you could get by him?
Well, I'll try if he does.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and stay ahead of them because I'm starting ahead of them. So hopefully I can stay ahead of them. So,
Excellent work. Well, thank you very much for jumping in and chatting to us. I'm sure we'll hear more from you tonight. Good luck on the next few races.
cheers, mate. Thank you.
That was your 3rd place finisher of the first race, Callum Newsham. We're now going to talk to Max Bird, who was your 2nd place finisher in the first race. Hello there, Max Bird. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, all good. Not very happy myself with that drive, but still a solid finish, I guess.
Why do you think it wasn't too good from your perspective?
It's funny because in real life I love this track, but on this game I just can't seem to get to grips with how the car drives around here. I'm not necessarily that far off the pace. I just can't seem to be consistent really.
Yeah, I think a few of the drivers were finding coming down the hill section on sector one a little bit of a challenge to master. Do you think that was where you were losing a lot of your time?
I think just trying to push too hard through the chicane, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Just try and improve the next one, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's very well said from you. Were you a little bit worried that towards the end that Cal Newsham was going to catch you there?
Not really. I knew he was catching me, but he had to obviously get past me as well, didn't he? So I wasn't going to make it that easy because obviously me and Callum are fighting at the top at the minute for the championship. Obviously Lewis is going to be a bit closer now, but he was my main sort of competitor, and I just wanted to keep him behind me really. So if he got close enough, I definitely would have tried to fend him off.
Yeah, I think you've definitely got a chance to push for a couple more wins tonight. So hopefully this isn't the last time we hear from you. Good luck for your next few races.
Cheers, cheers.
That was Max Bird, your second place finisher in the first race. We're going to speak to our winner, Lewis, who is going to join us just now. Hello, Lewis. Well done on your first win. How does it feel?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, it just feels good that putting the practice in now paid off. So yeah, I managed to get a setup down to a T this week. So yeah, no, happy with that, and yeah, very good race.
I was actually going to ask you because I remember having that conversation with you last week about if you put more practice in, do you get faster? And I seriously think that it has paid off for you. Do you think that you've got a good chance of winning another race tonight?
I hope so. I say is we had technical issues in qualifying, so I think we only got I think got 5 or 6 minutes of qualifying, so it was like to put in P2. So I've definitely got more time in practice. We were on the same pace as Callum, and we had more time in the car. So yeah, I hope so. I hope for this race we just going to be damage limitation, just getting through the first few corners. Because I feel like we definitely got the pace to come through, get into that top three, then hopefully manage to somehow get to the front and try and break a bit of a gap. Because the pace running by myself has been good. So yeah, hopefully he needs to just keep me head down, just keep putting in the laps.
Yeah, I think you definitely done very well to push away. You were 4.9 seconds across that finish line ahead of Max Bird. I bet you that just feels, so amazing considering the way you pushed last week and you just managed to not be able to catch him in the end.
Yeah, so I just think that the thing is between me, Max, and Callum, and Andreas is getting with us as well now. But like we're just so little between us that like I got fortunate enough with the random grid that I was on the front row, managed to get a good getaway and get into the lead. So the thing is, if any of us three get away and pull say a second or two, the chances of any of us catch each other are very slim, especially on a track like Knockhill. It's so close, like within a tenth of each other every lap. So being able to actually maybe make a bit of massive indents every lap is going to be hard. So yeah, I think it's definitely between us three. It's definitely be about who can get through the first 2 laps the cleanest and make the most progression.
Excellent. I think you've definitely got the practice behind you to bring it to these guys for tonight, and you definitely got the skill there. So good luck on the next few races. I'm seeing that the cars are starting to line up on the grid, so I better let you get away, scurry into your car, and get ready for the next one. Good luck, buddy. That was Lewis Brown, your race winner from the last race. Now the cars are just lining up on the grid again, just waiting for the all clear. Just waiting to get a couple of the grids sorted out. Excuse me, guys. I'm just going to quickly get some stuff sorted out. So we're just waiting now for. I think one driver is still waiting to get into the race, but other than that, we should be ready to go. So, just speaking to everybody in the chat. Hope everyone's having a safe and also very good lockdown. I think everything looks like it is coming close to an end. I can't wait myself to get back to work and feel just a little bit more normal again. I know it's affected so many people, and it definitely is one of those things that we all have to acknowledge. So now we're just waiting now to wait for everybody to come in. Just waiting for the race director to tell us it's all good to go. Starting grid seems a little bit weird here. It's like Anti's getting a bit of a second head start here, but I'm sure we'll see it make a bit of a difference during the race. Here we go. So lights lighting up. 6 red lights. And off we go. Andy gets off really well, even though he's had a pretty substantial position. As already, Callum Brockhurst has gone up into first position at the first corner. One of the Mintex cars is actually spinning round there. I think that was Max Francis. Little bit of a pile up. I do think we're all good. It comes down to everything from the race directing standpoint, so we're all good to continue on with the race. A few drivers losing out there. Lewis Brown still at the back end. Max Bird pushed up a bit, and Cal Newsham as well. These two just seem to be glued to each other. They can't get away. Andreas Lunden up in third position at the moment. Matthew Williams as well, up in second. He's still holding his position. Andy Clark, unfortunately, been knocked out of the positions quite substantially within the first few corners. So he's down in 6th position. Four cars battling in the middle there. Max Bird's trying to find a way on the outside, but Cal Newsham, oh, he's been pushed off the track. Very close racing there. Cal Newsham, unfortunately, he could have had that move done as Andreas has pushed himself off the track, but he's still fighting for that position now. Lewis Brown is just pushing from behind. He's not got a lot of space to make a move coming down this hill. We're going to be 3 wide coming down into the first section of the track. Very nicely done from Lewis Brown to just give him the switch back. Andrea is unfortunately the driver that lost out in all of that, but Callum Brockhurst and Lewis Brown just drafting each other through here. Lewis Brown running wide there, and he's gone off. Lewis Brown out of contention so far. As he's been spun off the track, he pushed himself wide round there. Very unfortunate from him. Had a very dominant last race. But Max Bird up in second position. Callum Brockhurst now in first. 6-second lead on Max Bird and Cal Newsham now. Make that 7. He's really pushing here. He was a little bit disappointed with his race last week. He really thought he could give more, but he got caught up in some back marker issues and was he never really managed to push as hard as he wanted around Brands Hatch. So this could be his race. Just over 10 minutes to go. Cal Newsham taking a little bit of an alternative line over the middle sector there. In talking about that, Callum Brockhurst had such a good move down on the outside going through the downhill stretch of the track. He just managed to pull away as the two boys behind him were fighting away for position with Andreas. He's definitely got to thank Andreas for the lead he's been given, but he has got 5 seconds between him now. He's definitely lost some time in that last lap. Two drivers behind him we know are just incredibly quick guys. We do believe Callum Newsham hasn't set his name properly in the game, but obviously we can see he is Newsham, so that's down to the drivers. Andy Clark going a little bit wide there on the edge of the track. Nicely done from Callum Newsham, he's pushing. .57s and 56s are what we're expecting around here, but that is Callum Brockhurst now being closed in by about 3 seconds now. Really close stuff here. Max Bird and Callum Newsham are pushing Brockhurst to the limits. See if he's going to make a mistake. Max Francis at the back of the pack, running in 5th at the moment. We had a really nice battle last week in the middle of the pack with him. He seemed to be kind of involved in quite a lot of the battling in the middle of the pack. He's a very defensive driver. He knows how to defend from cars behind him and faster cars as well. Great thing about the Legends cars is they just have no downforce whatsoever. It's all mechanical grip here, about how the weight is spread around the car. What we're going to see is Lewis Brown's trying to catch back up again. The two Mintex cars we saw battling at the front of the pack last race for a little while, but Lewis Brown managing to get through after his early few laps spin where he had unfortunately took to the gravel trap and it just spun him out. But Cal Newsham and Max Bird having a battle again. Cal Newsham's going to try and take him on the outside on the penultimate corner. It's just not happened from him. Max Bird still defending for his life as Cal Newsham is just pushing him to the limits now. Brockhurst is not far in front. It's going to be a case of battling. Max Francis is still kind of struggling to find his pace in these cars around Knockhill. Again, he had battles last week as well. It's just a case of trying to find the track he's on. Newsham still pushing Max Bird as we see Brockhurst now just over a second ahead. 7 minutes to go in the race. It's going to be down to the wire here to see how these boys hold up. If anything, it's inevitable that these boys are going to catch him, but in some ways, more than others, is Andreas going to catch? Fastest lap now for Lewis Brown as he's just flying now to try and catch up those positions. We're going to see a big battle now to try and get first position. These 3 drivers are going to be battling it out over the next 6 minutes to hold their position on the track. All 3 drivers just so level going through there on the start-finish straight. It's going to be down to the line though. Callum Brockhurst still good defending. Cal Newsham, bit of pressure there on Brockhurst as he made that mistake and he's let Bird by. But Newsham's still pushing him. Brockhurst is still holding Newsham back, but Newsham is going to have him coming down the straight. Good squeeze round the outside there from Brockhurst, but it wasn't enough to hold back Newsham. It's now a case if Callum Brockhurst can hold back Andreas Lunden towards the end. There's just over 5 minutes to go. Can he get his first podium in the Sim Games Online Legends event? Work here as Andreas is still catching, but will it be enough? He's got 7 seconds roughly to make up on Brockhurst now. Newsham is 1.5 off of Bird, so it's going to be a case if Bird makes a mistake that Newsham is there to catch up and mop up the mess. Max Francis still running in 6th position now. He just seems to be a little bit too aggressive on the steering of that car. Matthew Williams is unfortunately DNF from the race. I think Andy Clark is just absolutely enjoying these cars. He's just drifting them around the corners. Personally, myself, I live stream, and when I was testing these cars out for the PR for the event, I just absolutely loved it. I couldn't get the smile off my face. It was the most fun I'd had in a sim race, in a sim game, with involving racing cars in a while. It was awesome, and I was driving around just small little tracks in the New Jersey Motor Speedway in the motor park, and it was just great fun in these little cars. And we'll be there towards near the end of the season. Lewis Brown now just putting pressure now on Andreas Lunden. Just over 3 minutes to go. Cal Newsham is still there, trying to catch up to Max Bird. Is it going to be enough though? A few more laps left of the race here. It'll be quite interesting to know who's all actually been to the Knockhill circuit in the comments in the chat. So if you have, feel free to tell us what your experience was like, as we're always willing to learn here in the commentary box. And I'm sure all the other viewers will love to hear all your funny stories in the paddock, and also the funny stories of watching cars smashing around right here on this track. At that point, we were watching Callum Newsham driving at. It's very notorious for that, especially in junior formula. Watching Lewis Brown, he's just trying to catch Lundin. Is it going to be enough though? He's still going wide. Has he learned from that mistake about going wide on that gravel traps? He seemed really grippy today. They just pull you in. Newsham now is just on the back end now of Max Bird. We're coming up to the final few laps of the race, and he's going to push him right to the line, it seems. He's got the toe. He's going to try and dive to the outside. There's no room on the inside for him. I think he's definitely thinking of tactics here if he's going to get a better run down onto turn 2 and 3. Oh, Max Bird takes a little bit of a wider line. Too aggressive on the steering wheel there. We saw these guys racing it out last week. Oh! And Lewis Brown has got past Andreas Lundin, but it's just struggling to keep that car stable on the rumble strip. Andreas Lundin as well, going a bit wide. This is really awesome racing we're seeing here. It's the most fun I've had. Why wouldn't you comment about weather if I didn't attend the circuit regularly? The weather at Knockhill, you know, even though it looks really sunny, in reality it's probably -2 out. So we'll just take it as it comes. As you can actually see, the track temperatures and stuff are on the top right of the track, and that is it. We've got the race time is up. It's now or nothing for Callum Newsham, as he's going to have to try and push to get past Max Bird on the last lap here. It's really fantastic racing. It always seems to be race 2 where we get all the action with the reverse grids. And it does look like Callum Brockhurst, if he doesn't make a mistake on this last lap, he is going to take his first podium here in the Legends Championship. Lewis Brown's hunting him down like a bloodhound though. Callum Brockhurst is post the fastest lap. He definitely knows he's under pressure from Lewis Brown. And that's the leader, has been announced. He is on the last lap now. He's actually coming down the back straight. The race director was a little bit slower on that stuff. And we're coming down to the line. It does look like Max Bird is going to take the win unless there's a late lunge from Callum Newsham, but there's not. So Max Bird is going to win his first race of today. Fantastic work from him. He managed to get past all those drivers, hold off Callum Newsham. And here we go, and it is Callum Brockhurst. He has taken 3rd position. Very well done from him. Very well controlled during the race. He's going to be very happy with that. And we see Andy just having a nice slide there. What a fantastic cinematic of him towards the end. And Max Bird, 1st place. Callum Newsham in 2nd. Callum Brockhurst in 3rd position. Can't wait to interview him. I know he's been dying for this after a little bit of a disappointment last week. So very well done. We're now going to go on to the interviews for the 2nd race, and we're going to have, I can imagine, a very, very dubious Brockhurst coming into the chat. We'll just wait for the screens to change. And we'll be ready to go. And here we go. Here he is, the man himself, Callum Brockhurst. How was that race?
Yeah, so over the moon with that finish. Yeah, it was a really good race.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm speechless for you. I knew those guys were gonna catch you, but I didn't know when. And after I saw them pass you, I was like, he's just got to hold on, you know. And I think you done very well there to get your first podium here. So very well.
Yeah,
done.
cheers. I saw Max and Callum coming in my mirrors and tried to hold Max off for a bit, but he just was too quick for me. And then obviously Callum was behind me, so I thought I'd just let him go as well. So them two could have a battle. And I was just there trying to manage my own race, and I saw Lewis coming down with his time, and I was like, I've just got to stop looking in my mirrors and get on with the race. And yeah, happy P3.
Yeah, I think as well. I want to know from your point of view when you got that fantastic start on the run down on the hill there.
Yeah, well,
How did that feel? Like you definitely had such a good rundown, and during the middle of the battles, there, you know, you were 8 seconds ahead on lap 4. How did that like?
The lights come on and it dropped, and I was like, I've just got to squeeze Matthew off. So I squeezed him, and obviously he let off, so he couldn't do anything about it. And then and then we were coming down into the second turn, and I just saw a bit of a pile up. So then I was like, right, that's my chance. And then I just, like I said, got my head down.
I think that was very well done from you, and hopefully we see you on the podium. If not the next race, but hopefully again soon.
Yeah,
Good
thank you
luck
very much.
and well done.
Cheers.
We're now going to speak to Callum Newsham, who had a very good fight there to try and chase down for first. Max Bird just holding him off to get the win there from him. And here he is, Callum Newsham. How do you think that went from your point of view?
Yeah, it was a bit eventful. I'd say that, but no, I'm happy with that.
Like, I've got one question for you. Is do you think if you weren't free wide coming into like just towards that last corner on that back straight on about lap 2-3 when you were overtaking, was it Andreas? Obviously you touched the grass. Do you think if you didn't touch the grass there, would you have managed to pull the move off?
Yeah, I think I was going for it, and I think it was Matthew. I think he had a technical problem and his like screen turned off, so he was just drifting across to me. And the next minute on the grass, opposite lock. But yeah, I saved it. But yeah, I probably could have done the move, but it didn't happen. So who cares?
As it was very unlucky from us in the com box. We were thinking you were going to have it. You were free wide through there. But in all fairness, I would say very well done. And that was a very controlled race. Do you think as well, coming at the back of that last race, obviously having Max Bird in front of you, did you just know that you had him in your sights again coming into this one?
Yeah. Well, I knew I was faster than him as well, but I just couldn't get past him. He was just defending in the right places. And then when I did get close to him, I just kept making mistakes. So definitely didn't help.
Yeah, I think making mistakes, unfortunately, in a car like that, we already talked about how difficult it is to drive, but how it went from your point of view, you obviously having that issue. How difficult actually is it driving this car specifically on this track?
It's very, very difficult. Like, you got to have complete control of it. And I don't even have complete control of it. I'm on the edge every lap. Wonder if I'm going to bin it or not.
I think that's the way you've just got to live with these things. I think it's a 50% chance you'll live and a 50% chance you're going into the barrier. So in all fairness, I think you done very well today. And even if we don't see you in the podium in the next race, you should be very happy with today's racing.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Excellent. Good luck.
Cheers.
And now we've got our final interview of the second race, and that is our race winner, Max Bird. Max, very well done on that win here at Knockhill. Obviously, you were saying that this is your favorite track, and obviously getting second last time out, you definitely wanted to get up to the higher step. How do you think your race went?
It wasn't ideal after lap 1 when I realised that my brake rubber's split in half, so I've got barely any brake sort of feel at all. So it feels rather odd. But apart from that, I think I just held on as much as I could, really. Defended where I needed to, and that was it, really.
Yeah, no, I think you done very well to maintain your pace throughout, even though having that technical difficulty. How did you feel as well when you were driving that car around the track? I asked this as well to Callum Newsham. How difficult is it when you're going down that hill section in these cars?
At sort of 50% through the race, it becomes quite difficult on the rear because obviously the rear tyres are quite hot and a bit worn, so it slides a lot through there. So you're almost sort of drifting the car around rather than driving it, really. But I think it's just trying to be as consistent as you possibly can, and that's about it, really.
I think from us here in the commentary box, we enjoy seeing a bit of a battle between you and Callum. Do you think you guys could let us have a bit more of a challenge for this race?
To be honest, I think I'm going to let Lewis and Callum have their own little battle and then hopefully reap the rewards from that.
Excellent. Thank you very much for talking to us, and good luck for this next race.
Cheers.
Max Bird, last race is winner. We're now getting ready to go on the next race. So I'm just going to make sure the race director can hear me. So we're just waiting for a couple of the drivers to reconnect into the session. So this is the final race of the evening here on the Sim Games Online channels for the Legends Racing Series. It's going to be a fantastic race here. This one now, for all you guys that love the traditional quali, this is what this is here. So obviously the rundown of the grid. Obviously, I think Mick Sutton obviously had a bit of an issue with his internet connection. Callum Newsham is first position. Lewis Brown is second. Max Bird starts third on the grid. After Mick Sutton unfortunately having some issues, he's no longer fourth, but Max Francis is. Andy Clark in fifth. Callum Brockhurst in sixth. In seventh, we have Andreas Lunden, and Matthew Williams will be starting at the back of the grid as he didn't manage to make quali today. One minute 10 to go from the race director. The simple sentiment from race director today is literally, don't take anybody out, because he will push penalties on people that just take the absolute mick out of the lines. Looks like it's going to be a good race though. As we heard, Max Bird's going to let Cal Newsham and Lewis Brown have their own little battle. Down into turn one, it's going to be quite interesting. Both these guys are very, very quick off the line. Whether we take that to internet speeds or not. Hope everybody is doing alright in the chat. Here we go. 6 red lights. And off we go here for the final race here at Knockhill in Dunfermline. Fantastic start there from Cal Newsham. He's got the inside line coming down the first corner. Pushing Lewis Brown just a little bit wide down the hill section. But he's got position. Max Bird being squeezed now by Max Francis down on the inside line. But Max is fighting back. Sorry, Max Bird is fighting back. Keep forgetting that there is 2 Maxes on the grid. Max Francis, unfortunately, spinning off the track and spinning it into the tyre barrier. Good thing we're sim racing, because that would have hurt. Max Bird just now up holding in third. Callum Newsham pushing in second place at the moment. He definitely had the edge over Lewis Brown coming down into the first section of the track. He's going to have it again. Fantastic move down the inside on Lewis Brown there from Callum Newsham. Very nicely done. Brockhurst running in fourth at the moment. He is pushing Bird. Really nicely done from Lewis, who's managed to get back, and Max Bird going wide. He's going to leave the way for Brockhurst. He's now in third position. Unfortunate there for Max Bird, who we spoke to in the last two interviews. He's going to be pushing for positions here. Alan Brockhurst pushing to try and hold his position, but Andre is really trying to get a podium today. He got one last week. Oh, pushing it really wide. He's given up 2 positions there. Max Bird managing to recover very well after that off-track moment, and he's passed Callum Brockhurst onto the final straights. Oh, and Andreas is spinning off the track down the speedy zone. I'm going to call that speedy zone from now on, because it seems to be the drivers are really flying through there. Very unfortunate from Andreas, but I do assume that he has managed to make it back on track all right. These cars are, as we were speaking last time, I guess we could put it down to commentator's curse, that those cars are quite difficult to control around there, and we haven't really seen too much issues of cars going extremely wide. Andy Clark running in 5th at the moment, who we know is just in for the joyride. He's really enjoying sliding that car around the corners when he can. Andreas Linden down in 6th after that incident at the start of the last lap. Callum Newsham is just trying to push Lewis Brown now. We know the championship is really close between these top 3 runners at the moment. He's just trying to follow and stay in the slipstream. A little bit loose on the back end there from Newsham. Is he going to have enough speed to be able to take him on the last corner here? 11 minutes to go in this race. He's going around the outside. I think he knows where he can find the grip round that corner. We're going to be too wide in here again. It's been happening all day. Really close, but Newsham is still there. He's got his foot on it. Lewis Brown coming on the inside to try and defend. One of the most defensive drivers in the grid. Fantastic work from him. Really nice to see these 2 drivers come flying down the hill. And right now, it seems to be that the driver of the day selected from the race control is Lewis Brown for his comeback in the last race. He came down from pretty much being at the back of the grid after that incident, having a tiny bit of damage to his car, to being just 7 seconds behind and coming on to 3rd again. So fantastic comeback from him, and I'm pretty sure unless something matches at this lap, he is going to get driver of the day. Andreas Linden still not managing to catch, but Callum Newsham still having this battle now with the red Mintex Lewis Brown car. Number 39. Callum Newsham, number 1, pushing just a little bit more and a little bit more, trying to see if Lewis is going to make a mistake here. Under 10 minutes to go. These 2 are going to be at it for the whole race. Lewis Brown still holding him off. Andy Clark still running in 5th position at the moment. Callum Broker is running in 4th. He's about 9 seconds behind Max Bird now, so unless something happens, unfortunately, it does look like a podium could be out of the question for him again. Andy Clark taking a wide line through there and unfortunately smacking it into the wall. He's lost that position he had on Andreas Lunden. Max Francis unfortunately having to retire the car very early on today after spinning out in the other Mintex red car. Callum Newsham still putting the pressure on Lewis Brown. Max Bird, as he said, going to let these guys have a battle. Be interesting to see when he's going to make his move to try and get up there. Matthew Williams now running in 7th position in his Rust liveried car. That's going to be an iconic car for all of the Sim Games Online community after a couple of events. We just know seeing that car around. Number 19. I learned a fact as well, he's actually racing with a VR headset on, and if anybody's raced with a VR headset before, it can be really off-putting around the tracks here, especially in these cars where they've got really weird turning angles on them. So very well done from him for managing to drive very well with that headset on. Max Bird running in 3rd at the moment. That's actually Matthew just being told by race directors now that the leaders are catching him. So he's going to have to show us off his fantastic racing etiquette, and very well done from him. Max Bird still running in 3rd. And Andy Clark going wide again. He's just not having a very good race. The past 2 races he was enjoying it, but now he seems to have maybe overcooked his rear tyres a little too much. And he's just a bit too slidey in that back end now. I hope everybody in the chat is doing all right. Please let us know if there is something that you would like to see in the Sim Games Online community race-wise. We're always definitely looking for feedback. You can leave us comments on the Facebook page. And obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, leaving a comment in the YouTube videos as well, we can see them. Lewis Brown still trying to hold off Callum Newsham now. Newsham's going to try and have a go into the first corner, but I don't think he's got enough speed coming out there. Very well done from Matthew Williams to let the leading drivers past. Max Bird still actually struggling to catch up with the track. Callum Broker still running in 4th position. 4th position is still a very, very respectable position here in the Legends Championship. We've got some very fast guys in this. obviously speaking to Brockhurst last week, he wasn't too happy with his performance. This week he seems like he has really improved, doing a lot of laps. I've seen him pretty much every time I've logged into our server on Discord. He has been in the chat speaking to the race director, and he's actually been in the practice server. So he's definitely made some a fair amount of laps on this track, and I can see him being that way this week as well. As we're actually going to a German track next week. For everybody that's interested, we're going to Oschersleben, which is, well, just outside Oschersleben in Germany. So it can be very good. I'm sure we can definitely learn all the names of the corners on the circuit. Obviously going into Germany, that's going to be a fun one for you guys to listen to me say. I would actually have to apologise that I don't know all the names of my native circuit here. As personally myself, I haven't had a lot of time this week to do a lot of major prep for this. Obviously, I'm prepped enough. I'm back at work properly myself at home, so I've unfortunately been a very busy bee. But just for you, Moira, I'll try and learn all the German names, just for you guys to listen to me make a mess of them next week, just for you guys. Callum Newsham still pushing Lewis Brown now. There isn't much in it, as we've got 2 minutes left of the race to go. Max Purge has actually fallen behind these two. They've been battling for fastest lap all race, been pushing each other on. I can imagine it will be very, very funny. From my point of view, Ruby, I'm going to be sitting here wetting myself in the comms box as well, and I can't wait. It's going to be really fun. We actually had the Legend testing event, the last testing event round Oschersleben, and when I read some of the names, I couldn't say them because I was in that much hysterics. So this is going to be a good one. Hopefully next week we'll learn some of the names for you guys and we'll get them down. I'll watch a German tutorial on how to say them as well. Andreas Lunden is catching Brockhurst now. Callum Brockhurst could be under pressure now in the last 2-3 laps of this race. Andreas really pushing that car around the circuit like it's just made of paper. It could be Andreas is going to take him on the outside. No. Can he push it on the inside? A little bit of a tap on the rear wheel there. Some really good racing on the final race of the night. Nice to catch up with everybody in the chat again. Callum Newsham now still pushing Lewis Brown. Will it be enough? That is the question. I do believe this will be the leaders coming on to their final lap of the race. And there we go. That is confirmed from the race director that the leaders are on the last lap. Try and see if we can jump between a few of the racers in the pack as Matthew Williams doing really nicely at the back there, just enjoying his drive around what could be one of the most iconic racing circuits in Scotland over time and in the UK. Andy Clark coming over the line in 6th there. He's going to have one more lap to do. Can he hold it together for this final lap? But it does look like Callum Newsham and Lewis Brown's battle is going to come to an end here. Andreas Lunden unfortunately not managing to have to catch Callum Brockhurst now. Very well done to Lewis Brown and Callum Newsham. Max Bird will be just crossing the line now. There he goes. Very well done from him in 3rd place. Can Callum Brockhurst hold off Andreas Lunden? He does, and he takes 4th position here at Knockhill for the final race of the evening. Andreas Lunden coming across the line in 5th. Andy Clark's going to come now in 6th. And Matthew Williams is going to come across the lap soon as well. So now we're just going to wait for all the drivers to jump into the room and we'll chat to them. There they are, they're all here. Let's talk to our 3rd place finisher, Max Bird, and get his point of view from the race. Max Bird, unlucky there, mate. I know you were looking to try and get past, hopefully around about the mid of the mid of the laps there. How do you think it went from you?
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, I wasn't quick, really. I think I need to replace the rubber in my brake pedal because I think it's half fallen out. So, yeah, but I mean, yeah, definitely the other guys in front are a lot quicker and just seem to gel the track there.
Yeah, I think you had a good race overall. Just a few things there that obviously I think yourself, you know, that you could have definitely done better. We know that you're such a fast guy, and you know it was quite odd to see you not push the position. But I think overall you done very well. So I think you should be very proud of what you did today, in general.
Yeah, no, it was some solid points finishes, and we'll take that round to the next circuit.
Very well done. So we're at Oschersleben next week, man. Are we gonna have some more of practice from you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next track. It's one I've raced for a few years, so hopefully it'll be a good round there.
Excellent. Anyway, thank you very much for stopping by, and yeah, we'll hope to see you next week.
Sure will.
Have a good one, buddy. So that was Max Bird, our 3rd place finisher in the final race of the evening. We're going to get 2nd now, which was Callum Newsham. Callum Newsham, how did that go for you?
I think we were both definitely on the limit there. So very hard to keep up with Lewis. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Good points. Fastest lap again, so I'll take that.
I think you done very well. In all fairness, you done such a fantastic drive in general. I think you should be very proud of yourself. In talking about that though, you had a couple of moments coming down the hill that you were actually ahead. What actually happened?
Yeah, I was ahead going into the first corner on the 2nd lap, and I thought that was it. And then I missed my braking point into the 3rd corner, and then Lewis just got alongside me and yeah, got through. So yeah.
Do you think if you didn't miss your braking point, it would have been a completely different race?
I don't think it might have just been the other way around, him chasing me all the way through the race. So yeah, I might have won it though, but who knows?
Excellent. I think you done very well, and I also think you should take everything you done today and, you know, be very proud of it. Do you think that's good standings for you in the overall fight for the championship?
Yeah, I hope so, because I think this round's double points, so hopefully it gets me up there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very good piece for you to know. And out of all of that, and also very well done from us here in the commentary box.
Cheers. Thank you.
Callum Newsham here with us, second place finisher in the final race tonight. We've now got our race winner, Lewis Brown, joining us in the comment box. Lewis, very good fight from you and Callum throughout that race. How do you think the race went from your point of view?
To be fair, the start was a bit. I turned my ABS off, so I was braking. It was just locking up everywhere, and I was having to go down after the first light, going down start finish straight, trying to remember which button I selected for the ABS button. But yeah, no, it was good start. I just do Callum's quick, and if I didn't keep pressuring him, try and get in front, he probably would drive away with it. So yeah, no, just managed to get in front. He made a slight error into turn 3. And yeah, that really just opened the door for me. And yeah, throughout the whole, I managed to pull a bit of a gap, and then he caught it back up, and he kept me on my heels the whole race. But yeah, no, I just managed to, I think the middle stint of the race, I think I just had a little bit of an edge over him, and I think at one point it was nearly a second gap, but then at the end he managed to get his composure back together and start bringing it back in. But yeah, no, it was a good race. So more points for that race too. But yeah, it would have been just perfect if we didn't have that race 2 in spin. So yeah, no, but yeah, solid points.
Excellent from you. I want to point out as well that you had a few moments during the second race there that I want to go back to. Obviously, well, we didn't get a chance to speak to you after your spin. What actually happened there as we were watching?
Basically, throughout the lap, I'm turning my traction off and turning it back on. So it was just an error. I didn't click the button hard enough to turn it back on. So when we come through a chicane, I just missed my turn in point. As I got on the power, it just lit the rear wheels up. So yeah, it was just a little error. It was just at the start of the race, we just got involved in an incident that didn't need to get involved with. So yeah, no, but yeah, to come back 2 wins and fourth was good.
Anyway, I'm going to say thank you very much from us here in the commentary box for giving us a fantastic race. And hopefully we see you again next week at Oschersleben.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Stay safe, buddy. I'll catch you later. And that concludes our interviews for tonight. We had some fantastic racing here at Knockhill. As we said, an iconic track, and it's going to be a shame that we won't be back here for another while, as we are going over to Germany next, to Oschersleben. Fantastic race circuit there as well. We're going to be racing the track that's not got this chicane on it, so we'll see how the drivers manage that. We saw them do it in the testing, so we definitely saw a good representation of a few of the drivers driving around there. And in all fairness as well of everything, please make sure you check out the Facebook posts and everything that's going to be happening in the Sim Games Online community over the next few weeks. And from us here in the commentary box, we'd like to say thank you for tuning in on all platforms tonight. And we hope to see you guys again next week for Oschersleben, round 3 of the Legends Sim Games Online Racing Series. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe. See you next week.